complaint and the location, and then you will put your number at the end of what you are writing so that the commission will escalate it to Abuja Electricity Distribution Company to appropriately place you on the tariff band they are able to provide the required number of hours. And just to brush your memory, I'm sure you are aware of actual your tariff. You will have 5 tariff classes so that our new listeners will also get to know. The tariff band A is the one that you are expected to get a minimum supply of 20 hours on a daily basis, while tariff band B, you are expected to get a minimum supply of 16 hours on a daily basis. If you are assigned on tariff band C, you are expected to get a minimum supply of 12 hours on a daily basis, while consumers that are assigned or placed on tariff band D are expected to get a minimum supply of 8 hours on a daily basis. And the reason why we keep doing this is for you to be able to know whether you are getting the required number of hours that you are expected to get on a particular tariff you are assigned. If you are not getting, particularly to those consumers who are even assigned on tariff band A, today we know that consumers who are on band A are paying the highest tariff, and therefore a lot of regulation is out there to protect these consumers. And it's a no-no. We know that the regulation even provides that if you are assigned on tariff band A and you don't even get 20 hours on a day, you are supposed to be given the reason why you are not given the 20 hours on a daily basis. The next day, information is supposed to be published and placed on the website of the distribution company that is falling short of the supply requirements for you on tariff band A. And we know that by the regulation, if you don't get supply for 7 good days, you are expected to be downgraded to the tariff band that the distribution company will be able to provide services. So for any consumer who is facing this challenge, I will advise you to immediately escalate it if you're not getting the required number of hours of supply that you're expected to get on tariff band A. Immediately escalate it, and for any other higher tariff for data. Okay? And then I think the other lady who called who is talking about she is lacking in their community. And when they do so, it is expected that the community is going to be reimbursed or get return on investment by way of getting credit equivalent of the investment that they have put in the distribution company. You know, this is unlike the previous time that the community will just contribute money and buy an infrastructure or fix an infrastructure on behalf of the distribution company, when it is not the responsibility of the community, for example, to repair or purchase a transformer or any faulty equipment. So now this investment in network area is supposed to be done alongside with the distribution company, and that is supposed to be documented, because if you are investing, for example, 500,000 in a network, you should get a return on investment of that 500,000.
Absolutely.
And the document you're supposed to have, or the agreement rather, is supposed to clearly spell out how much you have invested, how long you are going to get return on your investment,
yes,
and then the period that the return on investment is going to start and end. All of this information is supposed to be provided in the document. And that's why we keep telling consumers that you have to document. It is not something that you will go and take decision on your own without informing the distribution company. So the first thing you are supposed to do before you even get to investment into a network area or investing into a network area is to first of all write the complaint to the distribution company.
Okay.
And then when you write a complaint to report to the distribution company of any faulty equipment, then you are expected to get a feedback. If the distribution company, and most of the time that's what we realize that happens, maybe you may not even hear anything from the distribution company, or you could get a feedback that the distribution company is unable to meet the obligation as at when due. So at that point in time is when you are supposed to activate the investment in network area. But I want to tell you that you must not do that without documenting it. You must do that by way of having an agreement that will spell out how much, that it will spell out the commencement date of this investment and the end date of this investment.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much, Madam Bridget. So, could you please tell us about the rights and obligations of an electricity consumer?
Okay, as always, we have always talked about electricity
Yes,
consumer right, and one of the electricity consumer rights we want to talk to you about is your right to safe and reliable, supply
electricity.
of electricity.
Yes.
And this is very important because you need to get electricity in a safe manner that is devoid of any form of harm. You made mention of rain about to, the
Yes,
start of
it's the
rain.
rainy season.
Yes, and
Yes.
that so many equipment are faulty. We have falling poles. Somebody also called to talk to us about the falling Nigeria, to ensure that they go around and check and ensure that their equipment are up to date and their equipment are not caught. Let me use the language of the consumers. I know the person who called us said some of their wires are caught. So because the electricity supply that we will expect consumers to get is the electricity supply that is devoid of any form of harm or danger to the consumer. And then consumers also have the right to properly installed meter, because the meter, like we have always said, is the way that the consumer, once a consumer has a properly installed meter, you're sure of your consumption. You're sure, and you will become in charge of your consumption. So the meter that is supposed to be installed to the consumer is the type that should be accurate.
Okay.
And then another important thing is consumers also have the right to be properly informed and educated. And that's why even the commission is taking its time to do what we're doing, to carry out consumer education on electricity. The distribution company is supposed to give out information. Time without number, we have said that if, for example, there's going to be interruption of supply of electricity, the distribution company should come out to provide information in respect of any maintenance they plan to carry out. They are supposed to even educate consumers on how to go about, paying their bills, provide information on how consumers can go and relate with the distribution company. For example, the consumer should even be able to have the contact of the service provider. You should educate them and give them all of this information so that the consumers will be comfortable, and anytime the consumers are even having challenge, they will reach out to you. And then consumers also have the right to transparent billing. Billing is one of, particularly even for consumers who are unmetered, the billing is supposed to be transparently done in accordance with the regulation, particularly the regulation on the tariff, the regulation even on the capping of the particular area. It should be transparently done. Most of the time, Mariam, we have had to provide intervention or resolve complaints of over, even in few occasions, we have had to even deal with the issue of over tariff. Maybe, placing consumers in inappropriate tariff, and then the cap is the common one where consumers will be, for example, the energy that is supplied to the particular area, maybe it's 100 units, and then the consumer is even giving, I've seen even 1,000 where the consumer is supposed to actually get maybe 300 or 200. So we expect the distribution company to bill consumers accurately, and it should be in line with the regulation. And also, when it comes to that, when you are even maybe overbilled or overcharged, it is the consumers also need to know that they have the right to refund of overbilling. Whenever it is established that you have been overbilled by your distribution company, you are expected to get a refund of the amount that you have been overbilled. Okay. And first of all, before we even get there, I want to tell consumers that you have the right to actually contest your bill. If, for example, your bill comes to you at 5,000 naira on a monthly basis, and all of a sudden you realize that what you are getting is above 5,000 naira, you can contest your bill. But what I want to make you realize or know is, if you're contesting your bill, it doesn't stop you from going ahead to pay the previously uncontested bill. If 5,000 was what you have been comfortable with paying, go and pay the 5,000 and immediately file a complaint on the overbilling that you are thinking that the distribution company has. You know, most of this overbilling comes from, I know that a lot of times you will hear that certain feeders have been upgraded, maybe probably from band A to band B. That's where the information that we're talking about comes in. Okay. If anything has happened, if there's a service improvement, we keep saying that there must be a service improvement before you review your price. So if your services, the services you're providing, for example, if a consumer used to be on band B, and then all of a sudden the service that you're providing has improved to band A, which is 20 hours, inform the consumer so that the consumer will be aware. Okay. Particularly if the consumer is the consumer who is unmetered. Because if the consumer is used to paying 20,000 and then all of a sudden you're giving him the bill of 100,000, for example, the consumer will raise an alarm. So because you didn't provide information. So it is very, very important for the electricity service providers to always provide information on the services they are providing to the consumers. And very important, I always say that let consumers know that they have the right to complain. We must not keep quiet. And if you complain to the distribution company, your complaint is expected to be addressed within 15 working days. You understand? And then if the complaint is addressed and you happen to be dissatisfied on the outcome of the complaint, ensure that you complain and in writing to the Fccpc so that the commission will look into your complaint and provide redress.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Bridget. Don't forget, you're listening and watching Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, the Fccpc Hour, an electricity dedicated program brought to you by Fccpc with the support of MacArthur's Foundation. And from what Mrs. Bridget has said, some of these rights, your right and obligation as an electricity consumer is number one, the right to safe and reliable electricity. You also have the right to a properly installed meter. You also have the right to be properly informed and educated on your electricity. And there should be open communication and transparency between you and your various distribution company. Then if you have any bill, your electricity bill that you are contesting for, please don't forget to engage your DISCO. You can engage your DISCO by officially writing to them and not stating by word of mouth, because sometimes when our consumers come here to lay complaints, the first thing Mrs. Bridget will ask them is, have you written to them officially? So you write to them officially and then give them time to, you know, work on it. Once there's no feedback from there, you can still go back before even escalating it to Fccpc. Don't forget, something very important here Mrs. Bridget talked about. If you're contesting a bill, that doesn't mean you should not pay your previous, you should not pay
the previous uncontested bill.
Yes, uncontested bill, which means if you're paying 20,000 naira every month and you see 100,000 naira, go ahead and pay your 20,000 naira, then write to them officially contesting for the 80,000 naira, not that you will stay back and you won't pay anything at all. So you have the right to do that. Now, Ms. Bridget, you talked about it. Having such problem and you pay 20,000 naira, is it proper for the distribution company to come and, you know, disconnect any consumer?
You know, I have actually left out, I wanted to say that consumers actually have the right to be notified ahead of disconnection.
Okay.
You understand? Before you will be disconnected, one of your rights is to be given a notice of disconnection. Okay. So if the distribution company is even adhering to the rules and regulation, you will have a prior knowledge of the notice that has been given to you. But let me tell you, the moment a consumer, and that's why I stated it, I stated that once you're complaining about overbilling, immediately pay the previously uncontested bill and immediately also write a complaint.
To avoid disconnection.
Yes. Not even to avoid disconnection, so that you have consumed light. You understand? So you have to pay for the services that you have supposedly enjoyed.
So in a situation where a consumer pays,
that's what I'm trying to explain.
And then his light is disconnected.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
That will be if you file a complaint with the distribution company that you are contesting your bill. there's no right thinking distribution company that will go ahead to disconnect you. And if they do that, that will amount to illegal disconnection, whereby the consumer will be entitled to compensation of the illegal disconnection. And like I said, the regulation, the new customer protection regulation of 2023 provides that if you are illegally disconnected, you will be getting the daily credits consumption of your electricity. If you're, for example, you consume 10 units, 10 units will be compensated to you for the number of days that you have remained disconnected. That is the new customer protection regulation. You know, before now, there's this categorization of residential, commercial, and industrial, whereby you will get 1,000 naira on a daily basis throughout the periods you are disconnected. But now is the credit equivalent that you will be compensated with when you are illegally disconnected. So we should take notes and keep tab. That's why it is good for you to be on the side of the law. Immediately, the moment you're contesting your bill, don't stay without taking action or doing your own bids. Immediately go and pay the previously uncontested bill or undisputed bill, and then file a complaint with the distribution company. While you do so, ensure that you have an acknowledged copy of the complaints you have filed, so that if anything that goes wrong, or when they come, if it is something that you are even at home, when they come, you show them. The moment they see, they will not want to bring any form of problem to their service, their company or their office. That is the regulation. And for us at the FCCPC, what we have always said to the distribution company is adherence to the rules and regulation.
Absolutely.
And I'm telling you, they know this regulation. So we want, and you know what, and one of the things that we keep doing and we enjoy doing is to empower you as electricity consumers, so that you will demand and insist on your right. I tell you, if you know this regulation and these rules and you apply them, you won't suffer.
Okay, so we still have few minutes. Let's take 2 or 3 calls before we call it a day.
Okay.
Don't forget, the number is 080-3322-1149. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay. 080-3322-1149. That's the number to call if you want to join us on the program FCCPC Hour. Hello. Welcome to FCCPC Hour. Okay. Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, welcome to FCCPC Hour. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yes, I called that and I told you that we have a problem for this, our light for this Goodness Academy site for New Caro site. Now, what do we do now? Is it something that then come court us? Is it anything we do again?
Okay, sir.
They don't know.
Please hold on. Have you complained to them officially? Did you write to your distribution company?
If they are the one that then come see it, then snap everywhere, then cut it.
Yes.
So now, what do we do again? They come there, they don't do anything. They don't make any intervention for that.
I think you should hold on. Let Mrs. Bridget address you. Hold on. Let Mrs. Bridget address you, please. Miss Bridget, I think you should please address you.
Right.
Yes. Hold on for her.
Okay, you are complaining that you have been disconnected. Okay, you are saying that you have been disconnected illegally, if I understand.
Yes, I wanted him to even listen to you because I've been trying to ask if they've written officially to their disco.
Then, okay, no problem. If you are still listening to us, if you're thinking that the distribution company has disconnected you illegally or even otherwise, even if it is a legal disconnection, you still have the right to approach and engage this distribution company, so that they will tell you what the reason is. And then normally, if they had followed the procedure, even if you are disconnected illegally or legally, they are supposed to actually leave a disconnection notice, to provide the information and the phone number of the address of the people who carry out the disconnection, so that you will exactly know how to engage with them, because you don't want to stay without supply of electricity, even if it is as a result of non-payment of electricity bills. You want to see how you go about it, because even if you have accumulated your bills, another electricity consumer right you have is the right to payment plan. You can sit down with the service provider and come up with a payment plan that you are supposed to be paying the distribution company. Like and I said, even if you are on a payment plan, the distribution company will not come and disconnect you if you have entered into an agreement on payment plan. So some of these things you have to know and then engage the service provider so that you will be on the same page. So what I will advise the last caller, I didn't even quite get his name, but I think I heard Karu. Is it Karu side or New Karu?
He said New Karu.
Okay, what you are supposed to do, if you have not written an official complaint, you should do so. But if you have written a complaint to them and then nothing has been done, it is time for you to escalate this complaint to the FCCPC so that the commission will provide redress in respect of this complaint.
Okay, let's take the last call. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome to FCCPC. What's your name or where are you calling us from?
My name is Dorcas. I'm calling here from Abuja.
All right, Dorcas, please go ahead. Good to have you.
I have a complaint to make, please.
Okay, regarding electricity?
No.
Okay, sorry. That's this is an entirely different program.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to FCCPC Hour.
Good morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
I am PBS. I'm calling from Karamajiji.
Yes, we're listening. Okay. Hello. Welcome to FCCPC Hour.
Hello?
Welcome to FCCPC Hour.
Hello?
Uh-oh. I have to cut this. Hello, welcome to FCCPC Hour.
Hello?
Hello, welcome to FCCPC Hour. What's your name and where are you calling us from? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, welcome to FCCPC Hour. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is... I called my name earlier time. I said I'm calling you from the New Caro.
We just addressed you now.
Academy.
We just addressed you now.
What I'm trying to say now, the rain, the breeze come fall our paw. Then damage all the wires cut. Then now the NEPA people come and cut that light. Now the wire is down there on the pole. Now they don't do anything on it. So what I'm trying to say now, what do we do now?
Sir, are you listening?
I'm listening.
Have you written to your disco officially to complain about this?
No, I didn't write officially. So far they have seen it, and the NEPA people come and do it, and I don't come and cut like the government don't cut another any other places.
Okay, sir.
So that's why they start everywhere.
Okay.
They are aware already.
Okay, sir. This is what Mrs. Bridget is asking you to do now. You are going to write officially. You send it to them. This is what is happening.
Okay.
Let's assume they don't even know about it. So write it officially. Go and meet them. They will acknowledge the other copy. You hold on to it. Give them some time. If they don't resolve it between 1 to 7 days, you can now escalate to the FCCPC. But first of all, you need to write to them officially, okay?
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, because of time, I don't think we can take any other call now. Ms. Bridget, I'm sure a lot of people would want to escalate the case to FCCPC. How can they reach your office?
Thank you very much. Like you know, we have a dedicated electricity phone number which consumers can continue to even interact with us even beyond this program. Is 081 1987 7785. The number again is 081 1987 7785. You can continue to interact with the commission. Like I always say, we work between 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. But if you want to send us SMS or even send us WhatsApp, you can do so within the entire week. You said 247, you can send us WhatsApp or send us SMS. We will always respond to that. And then if you want to also visit our office to file your complaints physically, we are located at number 23 Jimmy Carter Street, Asokoro. Number 23 Jimmy Carter Street, Asokoro. If you want to also visit our website, is www.fccpc.gov.ng. www.fccpc.gov.ng. If you want to interact with us on our social media platform, is at FCCPC Nigeria. It is the same for Facebook, Instagram, Trade, and X, which used to be Twitter. And then our email address is contact@fccpc.gov.ng. contact@fccpc.gov.ng. And like we always say, do not grumble when you have complaints. Always reach out to the distribution company or escalate your complaint to the FCCPC when you are dissatisfied with the outcome of your redress with the service provider or the manufacturer of a product.
All right, that's all we can take on the program FCCPC Hour. That's the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission electricity dedicated program brought to you by FCCPC with the support of MacArthur Foundation. We want to especially thank MacArthur Foundation for giving this program a support. We pray that the organization grow from strength to strength. We also appreciate the management of Human Rights Radio and Television for their continuous partnership. We also pray that this organization as well grow from strength to strength. And Mrs. Bridget, we won't forget to also appreciate you for always coming to educate us. And sometimes we like the way you engage the AEDC and other distribution companies just to ensure that they do the right thing. We just hope to keep this relationship moving. And for you out there, please, we want you to know your rights and obligations as electricity consumers. And don't forget, try to know your tariff band. It's very important. You need to know your tariff band. If you don't know your tariff band, you won't be able to understand some of these things we are talking about. So first of all, if you don't know anything about your tariff band, you can go into any of the nearest distribution company, ask them, please, what is my tariff band? Although I know it is written on your receipt, your bill, but for the metered consumers, you can just walk up and ask them, what is my tariff band? It's very important. Please, let's continue with this conversation. You can like, share, subscribe, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Thread. My name is Mariam Mbaka. Please have a beautiful afternoon and see you next week, same time, same station, on the same program. Bye for now.